To Speed Gaming 2. We've got the weekly Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer race. Two races on the docket tonight. I'm William in Texas. I've got Pueco alongside me this evening. How are you doing, Pueco?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Doing great. Just licking the wounds from the Tanuki final last night. Go back and watch that if you all haven't done that. You can see the odds on the Speed Gaming Twitch channels. So we're going to kind of run that back for our first race tonight. We're going to use these same flags as we used for the Tanuki Division SMB3 League final last night. So that's going to be low level shuffled, hammers, break locks, fixed hitboxes, faster sun, faster bass, world's one rock, not breakable this time, easy power up system, time attack, dark world 8. So you know the dark room in World 8? They're all going to be like that. They're all going to be dark. Also, open world, 6 worlds required. And those are the Tanuki settings that we'll be playing in just a moment. Going to get these runners readied up. And then we're going to drop the flag and get them on their way just as soon as we're all ready. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, I'll just drop them right now.
All right, any moment now, we're going to have some Mario action.
Yeah, so it's interesting that there's only 6 worlds required. So it's kind of one of those things where do you go with your least favorite worlds to skip, or do you choose them based on how many forts there are?
Based on the map, there are some worlds that will look longer or shorter than others, and like I have a preference order in terms of worlds, in terms of how fast they usually are. But if one of them looks ugly, I bail on it and hope that the seventh one looks not so bad.
Fair enough.
That said, I tend to still start with the same worlds, like 4 or 5, so I have a chance to get items early.
Yeah, I tend to focus on anything that'll have items in it. So I kind of like to focus on like 4. I like to focus on 4, 5. 2 is really good. 7 can be really good. I found
Here we
6
go.
surprisingly good, and I'm not really sure what's going on with Heel's side. Heel's is cropped properly, but I'm hoping that they'll sort of synchronize a little bit better as we keep going. Because on the SG side, they actually look perfect. So hopefully it's just a small minor technical issue.
We got a few different choices to start here. We got a World 4, Gatekeeper. I think that's World 1 that Heels went into, and takes the deaths to the Boom Boom. World 1 a triple forter. I probably just bail on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those ones where it's kind of like, maybe you should just come back with a hammer, just not worry about it, not deal with it.
Yeah.
Marky
2 break blocks.
Just missing the power up there.
Borstel went for World 5 and picked up some coins. Did not take the detour for the White Mushroom House, which would have provided a P-Wing, but that is a significant detour. And I also don't know if he had the Fire Flower the whole time, which, yeah, so it's one of those things that you would need. Is going to make his way through Navy. Marky clears the Gatekeeper. And deals with the Raccoon Leaf, going the other route this time in Troll Fort.
Manages to get through, actually. Not too bad. The Troll Toll has been paid several times, but it is good to see that they're making it through.
Oh, and that's not the lock that you want to break. You want to break the top lock. Thankfully, this fort's pretty quick. It's the real tank, the super tank. Not that fake one that we'll probably see at some point.
Yeah, getting a little damage boost there going on there for the P-Speed.
I didn't catch that item for Torstal just now. Did fight a bro.
Ooh, and that very nice skip of the rest of World 5 there. No worry about the Skyland here.
Fort Knox.
And yeah, Marky finding a very good source of income here.
Hope you all go on coins after this. 50 coins maximum at a time in open world. Because you're going to use these coins to buy items. You're not going to use them for one-ups. So what we do in open world to make up for that is 3 of any card gets you a 2-up now. They don't have to match. And then the 3 mushrooms get buffed up to a 3-up.
Yeah, very handy. Especially, too, if you find yourself having some issues with the bros, it's good to have those extra lives.
3 fort now for heals. Playing all 3 of those forts. Goes for door 3, does not get it.
Yeah, unfortunate, but a good attempt.
And he gets the star, which, unfortunately, he's going to have to wait this out. You can't go up a pipe when you're somersaulting, which, that's what you do if you've got the star and you're big and you don't have P-speed. Coin shift for Marky. He's got coins, but this should get him an item, hopefully. Hopefully it's not a dud. Shows us the statue strat. It's the mushroom. Now Heel's going to go into a coin ship. I'm sure he'll be picking up the 1-up after the nastiness of those forts. Oh, Torstol with damage in Gatekeeper. And that is a hammer for heals. Funny how that works. You get the hammer when you wish you would have had it just a moment ago, and he's going to have to take the ascent.
Yeah, that's a
World's
little
one.
late on that hammer, but definitely could be good later on. That could be a free World 3 in the future. That could be a very quick World
2,
7.
World 7. World 1, not a very nice world. 3 forts required, and the ascent. That hammer better be worth it. Yeah, okay, he's going to kill the fire chomp here. I was just about to say, you really want to get rid of that because that could despawn one of these platforms, potentially. No such problem here. Flower is the peach item from 4. Marky going to go for 5. Oh, bulleted. And I think this is the last chance for heals. I think that's a 0 on his life counter. Getting a slideshow from Torstol, unfortunately. Oh, just go through there. I get myself hung up the same way trying to jump through those cannonballs. The good news is if he game over, the forts stay cleared, so if he did game over here, which he won't, he would have only had to take the ascent again, which only the ascent.
Yeah, that's still like, you know, what is it, like 2 minutes of your life that you cannot ever get back in this game?
Yep.
So it's not the greatest of things to have to replay. So it is good that they managed to get through, and especially too, I think that was a one-hit, that's Iggy?
That's Iggy. And that is a one-hitter. And he's gonna go for 3 next.
3, okay. Could be really good.
Right. Now, if I were him, I would go somewhere where I can play a level, rather than playing a fort. You're sitting on 2 stars. If you get and he is going to bail on 3. If you get the
Yeah, I
third
can see
star,
that.
you don't have the game over problem anymore. Also,
Mm-hmm.
if you game over, it's worth mentioning you do lose your cards, your 2 stars, and you would also lose your coins, which would mean you couldn't use any of those power-ups you just picked up.
Oh
He takes a
no!
dive! Oh
Oh
no!
no!
I spoke that into existence, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah, that was it's one of those very confident jumps that unfortunately, especially in that level, it's just so easy to jump through and fall into the abyss.
It is. 2 hits for Roy. 3 hits for Roy. I think
But,
Roy's our boy.
oh my goodness. And was he
And he was
heavy?
a heavy one.
Yeah,
He
a
was heavy.
heavy 5-hitter.
Half of you that were actually paying attention to whoever cleared World 5 already knew this, but you're just noticing this. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on when you have players playing 3 different worlds.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out why the why heals is just like showing up so strangely. Not really sure what's going on there, but
Heals into the Navy. Salutes for the Navy. And Marky's saying, no thank you to World 1.
yeah, no, that is definitely one that you do not want to go into if you can avoid it. I'd say avoid it. Even 3, kind of strange. Like you almost have to play that fort because I have a feeling that first fort is the lock that is needed. And seeing 1, you already know that there is no three forts in World 3.
So Heals chooses to take the death here. Now, he's just realizing he can't actually power up because he does not have the coins to do it. That P-Wing would cost you 10 coins to use, and the Fire Bro is going to get him. Torsil is in World 7 and in a hand trap. This is the cheap hand trap. And
Unfortunately, having issues there with the bros.
And it's nothing at all. So it's something that he has already, or it randomized to a dud.
Mm-hmm.
And all the hands are going to be like that. Star for Marky. This should be a star kill. And
yeah, interesting that he's not. I wonder if he's going for a purposeful game over.
I don't know how many levels that'll set him back if he goes that route.
Nope, going through actually. Interesting.
He's gonna actually play it. Okay.
A little confused by that, but might not have noticed how the pipes are.
Yeah, like we saw someone else already realize that the other pipe is going to take you right to the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have that pipe, I think your best option in this scenario is probably to go play the other level and hope you end up with a power-up. And then you can come back here and clip.
Yeah.
And that's probably faster than trying to play out 7-1 as intended. And another dud in the World 7 Piranha. That was the second Piranha. Torstel's going to be on his way out of 7. I think Torstel's in the lead, so let's go to his audio.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have a tracker up right now, but these runners do only need 6 worlds to head into World 8, so they can definitely afford to leave.
Okay, that is his audio. Oh, yeah, perfect. My browser was acting up. I wasn't sure if pressing that button actually did the job, but it did, thankfully. The internet's feeling lazy on this Saturday night.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
blame all the
and
rain that is happening right now on the East Coast. Just blame the rain.
yeah, definitely the wines got soggy. And Heels
Can't have
decided
wet
to
internet.
bail on World 5. Now he's in 2, and this is a vanilla World 2 level.
Ooh, another cloud on Marky's side. So just spent a cloud, getting another one.
Torstol bails on World 2. I bet if you had a hammer, that would be a really fast 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Heels went the other way, though. I believe it was Heels who had played World 1 and actually picked up a hammer.
Yes.
Like, that would probably be a good time to use it. Like, I bet that pipe actually skips you the 3 stages.
Yeah, they could be like right to the end. Like it's one of those potentially amazing pipes.
I'd sign up for a 3-stage save all day.
Oh, Morky! Oh goodness, getting hit
Held
by that
himself.
that Koopa.
Picked the wrong way, unfortunately. Happens on occasion. I'll give it another go.
Yeah, thankfully not too bad of a level. A little bit of a rough enemy set, but it could honestly be a lot worse.
Yeah,
We
we
could
could
be
have
looking
a
at fire
ton.
nippers.
Yeah, fire nippers are terrible. The sun's not great because even up here you'd have to be watching out for the sun.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes boss bass can be a little problematic in this one as well.
That too. The upside though to 2-3 is you do get the chance to top up your coins. If you've got a tail or you can get a tail and you fly up, there's a P-switch and you can replenish your coins if you're short on that. Let's see this bro item, Tanuki suit in World 2 for heals. Oh, and that pipe is useful.
Ooh, Alcatraz.
Alcatraz!
Found. Oh my goodness.
Looks like that's a fire set. I'd probably go for the power-up if I'm small in this spot, especially with the easy power-up system. If you get a tail, you can get through here a lot quicker. Oh, Torso gets eaten by the bass. Marky finishes
Heel's
his
having
roll.
a bit of issues there with the fire chain, not letting him to get through too easily.
Marky bails on 2. I think he's seen 1 and he's seen 2. At some point, he's going to have to pick his poison. Hopefully, he'll have a hammer before his hand is forced.
Now, I could have sworn he has a hammer already, but did he end up using one?
I think that was Heels that had the hammer. I don't remember if Marky had one or not.
It
The
might
only
have just
hammer
been,
I remember seeing. The only hammer I remember seeing was in World 1.
Oh, okay. So I might just be thinking of the clouds, actually.
I could also be wrong as well. Like, it is really hard to keep track of all these worlds. Still gets rid of the bass that time. Oh, and the bass gets revenge.
Yeah, those two are now in cahoots. I think the Paragoomba and Boss Bass, because that was a good setup. You know, like getting the heavy plus the having Boss Bass spawn right there.
Okay, he decides to cloud it, and it's going to hope that he doesn't have to come back. No item there. It's giving Marky a chance to bring himself back into this.
Yeah, Marky's seeing now that there's not a whole lot going on in 7. losing the fire flower there on Torstal's side, unfortunately.
One hitter though, so not a huge
Not
time
too
loss
bad.
compared to the fire kill. And I believe Heels does have a tail this time. I think he P-winged it.
P-wing.
And unfortunately, this is not the pipe that's going to take him where he needs to go. Gonna have to hang on to the swing. Gets the tail swipe. The tail swipe. Come on. There you go. One more. One more. Good job.
Very nice.
So now he'll be able to break that one block and take himself straight into the next room.
Yep.
And
then
then actually fly
right
between
over
pipes.
too. Yep. No
As long as
worries
he
up
avoids
there.
trouble here. It's a 1-up.
Grabbing that hidden one up. Very nice. Yeah, and don't fall too far down, otherwise you're gonna have to build the bridge.
He gets through Alcatraz. He escapes.
Very nice.
Good job.
Marky almost getting hit by that hot foot.
We do have an unacceptable seed, and this is my fault. I rolled this.
You know, it happens. These things happen. We're allowed to.
It was also
Ooh.
non-traditional. We've seen Gatekeeper already. And Torstal decides he'd rather have the Fire Flower for the Wendy fight, which I would make the same choice.
Oh, definitely. Although,
You won't have to
maybe
fight
not
3
the
life rafts.
greatest of,
Oh,
of
takes damage.
arenas for her, but, ooh, and the
3.
time trial happening.
Yes, the
Be
time attack.
careful. Oh!
Life Raft gets him. And Marky picks up a hammer.
Ah, so there is another hammer, and that's in 6. So I think
And-
Marky is the first and only person so far to be in 6.
Yeah, first time we've seen it, and now he's going to do his pipe check.
Yeah,
And
not going
it's a troll
anywhere.
pipe. Okay, Torstal back in Wendy. If I'm Torstal, I am never stopping on her. I don't want to mess with more than one life raft. There you go.
Yeah,
Nice,
she still
safe fire
can send
kill.
them out, I believe, but I think it's more common when she jumps.
Yeah, and after you've stopped on her.
Mm-hmm.
If we never stop on her, we probably just have the one and we get the fire kill. It might take a little bit longer. But
Marky
don't get
finding
stuck
the
with a 5-hitter.
anchor.
Wonder what the anchor will be.
Yeah, I'm very curious what what it is going to be.
Ooh,
and
another hammer.
hammer. So 6 is loaded.
So this also makes World 1 a lot more doable now.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we can just break that bottom lock and not have to mess
Yes.
with the triple for it.
And I believe he still has a cloud, so he's actually going to be able to rip through 1 incredibly quickly, not having to worry about the 5-9 that's still sitting there. Ooh.
Okay, time attack. So he's gonna get this power up, but he can't take damage. He will die to time. And pick up
Yep,
a few
grabbing a
points.
little bit of,
Watch, there's a bro
damage.
here.
Very
Gets
nice.
through.
Getting through.
And Marky fighting Lemmy. Looks like he beat him. And carpet for it
Heals.
now.
Ooh, unfortunately, getting a little bit of a weird hop there and taking a spill into the abyss. And looks like Marky is just missing 1 world, so
So Marky to the lead. So what do you have hammers? That lock, that pesky lock.
yeah, but won't be able to do that onto the rock. Unfortunately, that has been removed for these flags. So unlike the summer tournament, we will not be seeing Twitch clippable World 1s. Yep, blind clouding 5-9. Very nice.
Beautiful. Sorry about that. My internet decided to hiccup for just a moment.
No, that's all right. Ooh, unfortunately, Marky's still getting that that boomerang, finding another hammer. Probably trying to figure out what the heck am I gonna do with that now that I'm going into World 8.
Maybe you get that rare World 8 with a conveniently placed block.
No, very true. I mean, anything can happen, and of course, we are going to be heading into World 8 after this, so... Chat, how many bridges?
I'm thinking we get 2.
2 sounds pretty good. I'm gonna hope for 3, because I really don't think that we're gonna find, I don't think we're gonna get the 4 bridge.
Yeah, I'm not that good, unfortunately. And remember, this is a Dark World 8.
Yes.
So you have that added wrinkle of having to remember where you are. With a little practice, though, you tend to learn the landmarks where it's like, okay, I'm on the hand bridge, I'm in the Bowser Valley, required level, and no cloud. Thankfully, not a bad one. Bill's making his way through the World 7 airship, which is in 4. And Tor still has to pick between 1 and 6. Thankfully, the 6 is not so bad. Marky gonna go for the P-Speed strat. Fly under a chunk of this. Picks up a star. Right, let's see if anything breaks on screen. Nope. At least one pipe. And handbridge area and fake tank. He's just gonna play it, it looks like, and he probably has to go this way, so not a bad idea to get out of the way now.
Yeah, you never know with those ones, like... If it was off in a corner, I would say, yeah, immediately, don't worry about it, but...
I did see the Navy tile right behind it, so... it's guarding at least one for it. Borstel gets his hammer now. I'll do the pipe check, and I find out that this one's a troll. I think heals 1 for 6 as well. And this is the bridge. We've got at least one bridge. And we've got a 4 tile, so forgettable for it. We're still going into 1. He's going to hammer the lock. And he's got a cloud, so I imagine he will not be ascending. We're still taking the death.
Heel's grabbing another hammer. So, nicely in here, we'll definitely be enjoying getting some hammers in 6.
And I guess that wasn't the answer. We see Marky in the sauna now.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't catch where that was on the map, but did he go back to the Navy? Navy tile?
quite see.
We'll know in a moment. We're still gonna cloud this.
Went back to the hand bridge, which was a fort.
Okay, the fort. Okay, the Navy was actually on the elbow. I misread that, but... And that is the answer.
Oh, very nice.
Slayer equipped, Star equipped. Arky's race to lose. As we see Tor still dealing with some Boomerang brothers here. Oh no! Okay,
Ooh.
gets there.
Succeeds, gets the hammer, very nice.
Not that he's going to need it in World 8. Unfortunately.
Getting the Everyman clip there. Ooh, does not get the mac and cheese clip.
I gotta learn how to do that.
It's funny enough, it's actually slower than going through the Tunnel of Love here in most situations, but it's the safe way, right?
Yeah, if I have a
You don't
vanilla
have to-
pattern, I'd rather go this way. This is not the vanilla pattern, though, and you could get scammed out of your hammer suit.
Yes. Yeah, it's
And
something I've
Marky
started to
gonna
take
win.
take the chance with anyway. Sometimes you get a really good setup and it's just rip right through, and yeah, Dr. Torstel and Heels getting that that synchronized wand grab as Marky finishes up with an official race time, 29 minutes 8 seconds.
BG's in the chat for Marky.
Jeez.
The Torstel's audio if my browser wants to cooperate. Here we go.
Yeah, that's that Dark World 8 definitely is a little tricky on the brain. We're still checking out 6F2 here, Frozen Fort. Not going for the fly strats. And Heels here in World 5. Oh, unfortunately getting sucked into that little spot there. Heading down. Gonna keep going with it though. Zipping through there with the star, always good to see. Ooh, getting caught there by the heavy Roy. Staying a little too close and then getting smooshed. Actually, ooh, too many hits, getting the times up, unfortunately. We're still making through, fake tank. And Roy, no match for heals, gets taken down. And Torstol seeing, yes, there's just there's the bridge, so... It's just a matter of finding the fort, because there's this one, and then I don't remember if,
And the other one was the actual answer.
Oh,
this was not, but it is the fort right that's right in front of him.
So 5F1 is not it. 5F2 is. Alright.
Still the bridge to build. Certainly don't blame him for playing the fort that's right under his nose.
Mm-hmm. It is right there, and it's always a good one to check, just in case. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
It's more embarrassing.
Extra time.
Yeah, it's more embarrassing if you if it ends up being the fort, but you leave it, than it is to just do it.
Absolutely.
And find out it's not.
So that'll build the bridge for him.
Yep, there it is. Heading in, has Kingslayer, has the star. So we'll see how this works out for them. It does not get the first clip, but that's alright. As Simon would say, Disco is still alive. Got the everyman clip, because everyone
getting
can
the 5 up.
Ooh. Having to take the lower route, that is going to be tricky.
There we go, gets the thwomp with the hammer.
Ooh, almost gets burnt there. Kotobu's not being too nice, so gotta be careful here with the a lot of the lasers.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
Okay.
Trades one Kingslayer for another one, so.
Guess it's gonna be the fire kill.
Yeah, what is it? 35 fireballs, I believe, and yeah, no troll laser, not too bad. Gets a little bit of a little smack. A little cheeky smack there as Torstol finishes up.
GG's in the chat for Torstol.
Yes, GG's. With an official race time, 36 minutes and 23 seconds. Dr. Torstol getting second. Alright, we'll see what Heals does here. Very close to almost timing out there.
And he is going to take the forfeit here. You know what he did good, though? He said before the race that he had not been working with these flags at all. And it takes some practice. It's definitely a different meta with the open world and then with the easy power-ups.
Oh, 100%.
It definitely changes some things.
These aren't the easiest flags, especially like these were designed for the finalists of the leagues, the respective leagues. So this one was for the finalists of the Tanukis, and then the next one we're gonna see is gonna be for the finalists of the Fireflower and the Kingslayer division. So
Be sure to watch those tomorrow night. Those should be awesome.
yes, yeah, one after the other actually. I believe starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Starting with the Fireflowers and then into the Kingslayers. But we're going to take a moment. I'm going to pop out and get these runners going on the next seat. So stick around. We got something a little bit more for you guys. And yeah, we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the weekly. This is our game 2. We are now playing the Fireflower / Kingslayer division flag sets. My name is Pleco. I am joined with William in Texas. Welcome back.
Go again. And it's going to get a little bit tougher this time. I have just sent them on their way. So we're going to be using the race 2 and 3 Kingslayer Fireflower division flags, which level shoveled, hammers break locks, all 7 worlds required, open worlds, no mushroom houses, dark worlds 8. And those are the settings. Interestingly, race 1 would actually be slightly tougher. Race 1, they're going to use the JP damage system, but not in races 2 and 3. So they'll catch a little break tonight.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting how much harder like the race 1 for Kingslayer and Fireflower is compared to the second one. But then again, too, I mean, Dark World 8 can really turn you around. That can really be like the difference between you ripping through World 8 nice and fast and you having to slow down and taking some incorrect turns.
Yeah, really easy to get yourself lost. And here we go with our second race of the evening. See where they all decide to start.
Yeah.
I
and
see a
unfortunately,
4, a 5, a 2, and a 1.
Still not too sure why Heels has such a weird outline. It's been cropped several times. Everything looks good on the SGN, but for some reason they're just not loading in properly.
So Torsil has found himself 1-3 right at the beginning of World 5. Gonna pick up some coins. He's gonna presumably pick up the item. Meanwhile, Marky picks up the anchor from a bro. Gonna go into Escalator Fort. And didn't catch which fort Wesley just played. But he's through that.
We're still
1-4.
grabbing item from 1-3. And notice
Fireflower.
that Heels is doing a lot better this time, not having the same hang up in the Troll Fort as they did last time, so doing an excellent job getting through in World, in that one in World 2. Ooh, Leslie getting munched on a little bit by the Cheap.
It's a star.
Ooh,
And
Marky
pick up
gonna
some
go check
coins.
out the coin ship.
bypasses the 1-up.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the way it is. Ooh, getting a
Hammer.
hammer for that. Very nice.
And was that the pipe from the beginning of the world? Because if it was, he's just found himself a spot to mine hammers the rest of the seed. So with open worlds, you can come
I think
back.
it was basically free, yeah.
Yeah, you can come back to a world you've completed. You can play the bro again and pick up another hammer.
And not
you can
only
only hold
that-
2 hammers at a time.
But it is a coin ship. So basically, yeah, not just farming the hammer, but
That's
getting
right.
all those coins each and every time. So as long as it's in a good spot each and every time, yeah, that's basically free.
And the bros do spawn in the same spot every time to start a world.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're looking for more loopholes in open worlds, you can box the hammer bros and the coin ships and still be able to go into them if you want to. You're just not forced to.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was a bro in between the coin ship and the pipe, not a problem if you end up with a box.
And
we see
two,
Mark and Torsil going for World 7.
The cloud won't be used up if you use it in a finished world, so you can actually just cloud through everything.
Didn't know about that one.
Ooh,
Nice tail
good
swipe on the
takedown on the boss bass there.
Gotta be careful though, it's gonna probably respawn. There
Yep,
it is.
There it is. Ooh, sneaking in there, very good. Marky finishing up some level there. And just noticed Torstal's in 7. Oh, they both are, so they
Yeah,
finished
they
up
both
that
went for
level at
7.
the same time.
And the coin ship ran away from Leslie, so he could potentially not discover what's in that coin ship. Because I don't think it's going to come back to him, like the way the patterns work.
Yeah, it's hard to say, so he might not be getting that hammer this time around.
They're both in door 3-4. Up top, Marky and Torstal, and they both make quick work in different ways. One with a fire kill, one with a one-hitter.
Ooh, heals. Almost getting hit by that Lakitu. Just getting in the pipe, just in the nick of time. Ooh, getting a cloud though. So both Marky and Torstal grabbing a cloud for their troubles before they head off to get the World 1 airship, World 7. It's Ludwig, I believe, correct? I can never remember which Koopas are where.
Yeah, I can't either.
Ludwig.
Leslie just gets the star kill.
Ooh, heals.
Oh, heals
Unfortunately,
doesn't
taking
make it.
a lot of damage there.
And they're both going to get their 7. Marky with a slight edge at the moment. Couple of seconds ahead, and he has fire where Torstal is small at the moment. I don't remember if Torstal has an anchor, but this is where I would do an anchor check on whatever the next level is. It's 5 coins off. Whatever the item is, it's 5 coins off to use it if it's an anchor.
Mm-hmm. Which means if it's a star or mushroom, that is free.
That is free. Free stars and free mushrooms are pretty nice for the entire rest of the seed. If it is a cloud, it's 50 coins, though.
Yes.
So
Interesting there. For World 1, just seen it, so there's a lock right in front of, or right after the fort, and it is a 1 fort.
Yeah, so you could use the cloud hammer if you wanted to. Probably wouldn't use a cloud and a hammer just to save 1 level, though. World's 1 not breakable. I don't know if Torstal was checking that just now.
Definitely agree with the clouding the level, though. It will be interesting to see if Torstal does the same, and if we're just never gonna see what that level is. Yeah, Marky making some very quick work in World 1 there. Getting an excellent P-speed flight over there. That is basically first-class privileges. No worry about that one.
And that level's 3-2. I feel like somebody might have entered that level before, but...
Yeah, that feels familiar, but...
I could be crossing my seeds.
Oh, you know what? No, that's right, because,
Wesley, maybe?
Heels is in it right now, and I think Heels maybe came earlier. Because, I think they got cheaped earlier. As chat says, from earlier, the Ludwig fight, Ludwig had his Jordans on.
That's right, Ludwig has quite the vertical.
The typical jumper, definitely the Koopa you would definitely not want to ever be against on the basketball court.
Leslie, using the frog strats. If you've got the frog in your inventory and you're swimming, you can press select and equip the frog suit at no cost. You can only do it once per level.
Yeah, and then taking the tactical damage there to basically just jump right out of it. Ooh, and Heels also getting some first class flight privileges there. Did come in with the P-Wing, so essentially, you know, had bought those privileges.
P-Wing,
But I mean,
not a bad choice for an airship, especially if that one or the World 2 airship haven't been seen yet.
yes. Oh, and so close to getting an off-screen one grab, but looks like that will not be high enough to get it. But a really good attempt.
We have to not be seeing a good chunk of his face, so I'm going to take the slight time loss instead.
Thankfully not too major.
So have you tried the NES World Championship game yet on the Switch?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, so a lot of the challenges involve beating a Koopa Wing and grabbing the wands, and it's slightly annoying to have to remember you actually want to jump for the wands. If you're speed running, you never want to jump for the wands unless you're going for off-screen wand grab.
Yeah.
But in that game, the clock stops when you grab the wand, so you want to jump for the wands.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a bunch of like speed challenges in a way?
Yeah, there's lots of speed run challenges, a lot of small ones. Like
Okay.
the biggest challenge for Mario 3 is beat World 1.
Okay.
There was just a Mitch Flower Power video where he went through a bunch of those.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I'd kind of heard about it, but I didn't really clue into what it all entailed, so I just sort of didn't really think too much about it.
So, Marky gonna go for the item in 1-3.
Yeah, I actually thought with the P speed and the damage strats there that he was just gonna run right through. Because I believe, wasn't this a fire flower? So
Yes, it was.
oh, so he didn't have it already. I thought he had a fire flower already. Interesting.
He just kept a fire suit for a really long time, I think. Leslie gonna P-Wing through 3-7, I'm gonna say. I never keep the level numbers straight. I just know that's the one where you can get the White Mushroom House if you want.
Yeah, I find with Rando it's like there's almost no point in remembering what the actual level numbers are, because in reality everything's just a question mark and I'll play it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have not played very much vanilla at all since I've taken up Rando. Leslie not getting Door 3. Marky and Teals both completing World 5 at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of curious how many worlds Heels actually has down, because it seems like they're making really good progress here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, hasn't gotten stuck anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
which is great to see. That's the thing with Rando, like, especially if you're a newer runner, like, you can get stuck in a rut. Like, if you get, like, one really gross stage. Give us a bit of a slideshow. He's gone for World 3.
Yeah, Marky in World 2.
Check some pipes.
Oh, beautiful. Having that hammer, don't think has a cloud, but it's not too
Free
big of a
Wendy with a hammer. Heels is in the airship.
Oh, wow.
Hammer at the lock. Who needs double hammer for World 3? One will do just
I
fine.
believe, didn't Marky do that as well, or did Marky play through? Because I know Marky finished World 3, but I'm not sure if he had the hammer for this.
I don't recall. Given the time on the clock, I'm guessing it was. I'm guessing he probably hammered it. Either that, or it was probably like one level. Probably hammered it.
Oh, ouch.
Orsil finds Alcatraz, and Marky not going to fight any bros. I think he's got enough items to where he doesn't really feel like he has to fight bros. especially if he knows where he can find a hammer if he needs one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knowing some easy hammers, it really changes a lot of the game as well.
Absolutely.
We got a heavy Morton here. Ooh, but just a 3-hitter, so pretty easy, not too much salt.
The one win I got in League this year, I found a World 4 hammer mine really quick. And I was going to World 4 the rest of the seed. Like every time I was going to World 4 and taking hammers and then just not playing forts anymore.
It's one of those things where it's like if you know where to get hammers and you can get them consistently, it basically just means that unless there is a
Speaking of hammers, Marky just got another one.
oh,
And he has one world left to play. And the hammer is potentially useful in 6. I don't know if we've seen if it's useful or not.
I believe only a few runners are in here right now. I don't think anybody's actually finished it up.
This is in basic for it.
6 is tricky though, because 6 can often have bridges at the end, and unfortunately, the hammer will not help you with bridges.
Hills takes a spill there, and so he's going to P-wing. I think he's going to go for the item, and I think you can risk that here, since we see a lock, and we know that that's not useful to break that lock.
Mm-hmm.
The lock in Basic Fort will never be something that... So Basic Fort will never be required from the standpoint of the lock. It might be required from the standpoint of a level clear of some kinds, but you'll never be required to break that lock, because going for the item will not break the lock.
Ooh. Borstal, grabbing the, finding the pipes, so, in theory, it could actually be very beneficial. Now, I don't quite remember how the hammers work. I believe it's, like, up left, or up right. I can't remember how it detects.
I think it's up right.
So, in theory...
If he hammers, I think it does the right one first.
Yeah.
Marky is going to play this fort, because unless this is the triple forter, there's a decent chance this one's required. I'm going to switch out to the leaf and not get the P-wing.
Should have waited a little bit, little patience there with the dry bones.
Heals is in 5-3 right now.
Yes, the greatest level that exists in vanilla, because it is the only level that you can get the the Karibo shoot.
Level. The boot level, everyone's favorite. You gotta play the boot level.
Oh, it's so good. Everyone loves the boot.
It is
except when it's J damage. If it's J damage, the boot sucks.
Yeah, the boot is terrible in J damage because that counts as damage. You lose the boot, you end up small. For those who don't know.
Yeah, it's not just a free hit, it is actually damage.
Same for time attack. If you had time attack on, you would lose the time. But as I was saying, it is criminal that that's the only level where there's a boot in the vanilla game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Marky there, finishing up. So after this, Marky will be heading into World 8. And once again, we are still doing Dark World 8, so it should not be as easy as World 8 normally can be. So since we're finishing this up, how many bridges?
Let's go for 3 this time. And
last time we had 1.
We're discovering Alaska was required. There was a bridge out.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna stick with 3. I never believed that 4 is gonna happen until I see it. So at this point, I'm thinking that 4 is a myth, and 4 never exists. And Fred actually made it so that 4 bridges cannot ever exist.
Very possibly.
I mean, like, you know, I don't understand programming, so like, who knows? It could be logically impossible for 4 bridges to actually exist.
I do it for a living. I haven't been through the Mario 3 ROM. Like maybe there's something in there where that's hard. This is a traditional seed. We do have Gatekeeper right at the beginning of World 8.
A beautiful sight. And while I believe this was not acceptable, I believe this could still be valid. Because I don't think we've seen...
Valid is still on the table.
Yeah.
Does
Someone
not
in
get the
chat
one
claiming to see 4 bridges, but this is like aliens and like...
It's a UFO sighting. Have you also seen Bigfoot?
It's a Bigfoot. It's a UFO sighting. I don't know.
The Loch Ness
can't
monster.
believe in it. I just can't believe it until I see it. You know, it's just it. I'm sure maybe it happens, but you know, it's just I don't know. I can't believe in it. It's a conspiracy. It's a Mario conspiracy. Alright, so far nothing breaking on that there, so first screen pretty much open, but
At least 2 pipes.
2 pipes.
1 lock.
Ah,
Well, we know it's not 4.
so...
Which tank are we in? The real one, the fake one? The slideshow is going to leave us in suspense.
Yeah.
By the way, we went into World 8 sub 20, just saying.
Yeah, this was quick. This was very surprisingly quick.
And I'm going to say that was a fake because
he is small, so yeah.
Okay, so that pipe's the answer pipe, and at least 1 bridge. And we know which takes the fake one. And we got to play a level anyway.
And as chat mentions the probability, I'm sure that it's possible. I like the idea of joking and making it a bit of a conspiracy theory that it's not actually possible, but I'm sure just because of all the possible variables that can happen, like, it would be incredibly hard. But it's still fun to think that it might just be a Mario conspiracy theory. Alright, so we'll see. So that is the hand bridge. Didn't realize that, because it comes in kind of similar to how the Dark World is as well.
We see a second lock, so this is 2 bridges max.
Yeah, and we also potentially may have already broken another lock as well.
I was about to say, like, it would just be 1 bridge because we've already seen a fort. We've already cleared a fort before we saw anything, so...
So we don't know if that was a bridge after the bridge we know we need to make, or if it was a lock somewhere.
Marky got a really quick clip, and gonna go into Air Force.
Yeah, it was definitely an excellent clip. Very, very smooth. Jade, of course, very unhappy with it not being a tail clip. Meanwhile, Torstal finishing up Morton. Leslie here, just dealing with the 4-hitter Wendy, not having too much of a problem, and Heels finishing up World 4, I believe? Is that,
yes, that would be World 4. And Leslie doesn't quite get the 1 grab, unfortunately. And now Marky going to backtrack, see if this is the answer. Yes, it is! 1 bridge!
Oh.
And I put on the fire suit. I don't know if we ever found out what the anchor is.
I don't think anybody checked. Actually, no. I believe it was the not the Tanuki, the Leaf. I just wanted to mention Heels is in their final world, World 7.
Nice.
Yeah, a little choppy there. We're hoping. Oh wow, Marky grabbing the mac and cheese clip. Just getting an absolutely phenomenal clip.
We just got Leslie into World 8. He isn't Gatekeeper. And and Tor still going to hammer, but Marky just needs to get these 35 fireballs and will be on his way to victory. There it is.
Beautiful takedown of Bowser. That is one roasted Koopa. Get your GGs in chat for Marky Mark. And we have a beautiful official race time of 23 minutes, 52 seconds. Absolutely phenomenal, sub 25. I am very afraid for my match versus him tomorrow. I have a very, very big worry that I'm going to be knocked out in Game 4 immediately. Especially with some of the plays that Marky is doing, so welcome in, Marky. GG's.
Thank you. Why couldn't I have had these seeds last week during my league race? I just flew through both of those seeds.
Yeah, I was just commenting like, oh my gosh, like if this is what to expect tomorrow, I mean, oh my goodness, I am in heavy amounts of trouble. Heels, I think, just grabbed the
Look at Heels, that's a wand grab. That's definitely a wand grab. Well done.
Yes, beautiful.
We see Leslie take the intentional death on 5-1 because that is the fake tank. And gonna hammer the lock. See where this goes. I don't think this pipe went anywhere useful. Oh yes, it does. That's gonna take him to the answer. Oh my! The anchor was a hammer suit.
Ooh. So Marky, how are you feeling about Dark World 8?
I've done some practice seeds using the Dark World 8. For the most part, I like it. Just have to make sure you don't get lost or anything, but
yeah, it definitely puts your brain a little bit more into you know, it's actually kind of funny. When you were in the on the hand bridge, I actually thought it was part of the Dark World. Because the way that you came in, because it was like, oh, it goes down similar to the Dark World. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're in the Dark World. It's just gonna be, you're gonna continue on.
Yeah, I thought I was in the Dark World to start out too, and then I moved, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not where I'm at. Okay, I'm on the hand bridge area.
Yeah, so definitely, I feel like you need to make sure that you keep in mind like a lot of I guess a lot of the small nuances of each area.
And Wesley found his way there. We saw him hammer his way to the answer. So Wesley is going to leapfrog into second place.
Oh, wow. Yes, gamer of the people sneaking in here.
You got the hammer, you might as well use it, right?
Oh, exactly.
And that was the difference there. This seed had so many hammers, you didn't even have to mine them.
Yeah, it was very generous, all things considered, very surprising. Oh, still going for the mac and cheese. Gets a second try.
It didn't have any hammers at all. This is where they all were at in this seed.
Yeah, they were just saving themselves for the weekly. So yeah, now 2 out of 2 runners so far have gotten the Bowser clip there right into Bowser's room, and a beautiful finish by Leslie. Finishing up second place with an official race time 27 minutes, 31 seconds. GG's. So I did want to mention the one thing I remember from the game 1, because these things have moved so quickly that it's almost hard to it's almost hard to remember everything between the games, just because we're looking at 4 different screens at a time. But game 1 in World 1, that triple forwarder World 1, you blind clouded 5-9.
Oh really? Nice.
Yes. Yeah, we were kind of thinking like, hey, maybe you're gonna go in, find 5-9, and then you'll just cloud it. But you blind clouded it, and I was like, oh, that was such a good play. Like,
oh, just the way the flag sets are set up, you can only have 2 hammers or clouds unless you get extras from the letter. So, I mean, if you have 2, might as well try to use those so you don't miss out on any potentially from the bros or anything.
Oh, pretty much.
Yeah.
And welcome in, Chi-Chi's Leslie.
GG's. Thanks. And GG's, Marky. Wow, what route did you use to turn in that insane time?
And both of the seeds tonight were just crazy fast. Like I've done some practice seeds with the Dark World 8, and I haven't had anything like that on any of my other seeds I've rolled.
I was gonna say, like, some of my practices have still been like in the 30s. Like this was intensely quick.
Yeah,
Most
most
into
of
Bowser
Mhm.
discovered that the Hickory is the hammer scoop.
The least.
Oh no, Torstal losing the hammer.
Heals in Bowser. And
Oh, very nice.
Just
Sides
takes
will
a
put the-
laser beam to the backside, but now Heels has got
Yeah,
the whole shot.
This
And
could
Heels-
very well fall into Heels taking 3rd place. So we will see how the rest of this treats them, because they don't have a hammer suit, and
The Heels
Torstal
decided to
does.
take the P-Wing rather than the Fire Flower. Like, he had the Fire Flower. Did
I
not have the
respect it.
Anchor.
I definitely respect it. I used the P-Wing a lot when I was first coming into the rando scene, so...
He's there. If Torsol gets this clip
Cuddling.
first try, we could have a photo finish.
Yeah, it could very well happen. Oh,
Doesn't get it. Clock's ticking.
no, we got a little bit of a... So we'll see how this goes.
Heels picked a great time to have the internet freeze.
Yeah.
I know, right? The only thing worse than that on the timing side would be a poorly timed mid-roll ad. Thanks, Twitch.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And there it is. There it is. There it is. Gonna be 3rd place for Heels Great Man. GG's.
Yes,
Heels Great
official
Man.
race time 30 minutes 53 seconds. Absolutely beautiful.
GG's to
Dr.
both
Torsol
Heels Great and Dr.
finishes
Torsol.
up.
Yeah,
It's
GG.
gonna be
Taking
about
down.
15 seconds separating the 2 of them.
Yeah, official race time 31 minutes 8 seconds, and joined with us very quickly. Thankfully, not spoiling who was 3rd place there. Welcome in, Chi-Chi's.
Oh, yeah, that was, How'd you get 7 minutes quicker, Marky?
I
That's
have
what I'd
no
like to
idea.
know.
I was just flying through that 2nd seed.
Well, I mean, it seems like he got the hammers at the right time in the right order and got to skip a whole bunch of stuff. That's what I could remember of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of situations where it was just like, blink and you missed it, the world was gone thanks to just one good hammer.
Mhm.
And it was absolutely wild, just because it was basically, I think, what, we blinked, it was like, oh, 20 minutes, or like not even 20, so it was like 18 minutes, and we're like, oh wow, Marky has like 1 world left. Like, that's strange.
Like, we're talking about how many bridges and it's sub 20.
I know, right? It was just the one bridge, and if you had a hammer into World 8, you could take a quick way to the required fort on the Dark Maze. Or rather, not the Dark Maze, the Darkened Hand Bridge.
They're all dark
Oh,
mazes.
memory of the game causing my mouth to slip. Oops!
World 6 made me do Alcatraz because a lock broke instead of a rock.
Oh, God, you know what? I was gonna bring that up. Why does the hammer prioritize the locks instead of the rocks? Or at least doesn't give you the choice to pick which one?
It stunned me for a second, and I had to do 2 bonus levels. I was like, oh, I had to process what went wrong.
See, when I was in World 6, I saw a rock in the lock there, and I did that 2nd fort hoping it would break the lock. It didn't, but I had 2 hammers, so I knew I was going to waste one, but I wanted to go through that to get to that pipe.
Well, you were fortunate to have two. I only had one.
Yeah, I think the priority is north, south, west, east. Hammer usage, if I remember right.
Alright, so I've got an idea to just kick out there. How about we not have any locks that are if you're on a tile, how about this? The game makes it so there's not a rock and a lock next to you. That would literally solve the problem.
I think
It
the
would be
algorithm.
nice.
I think the algorithm should be never eat soggy wieners, not north, south, east, west. Like it should be north, east, west, south, west. But because that, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I think the priority is put in with the game, not the randomizer. So it's I
Oh.
think it's easier for it to just be like potentially, yeah, have it all basically come in as like, hey, don't put hammerable things close together.
Kicking
remember when
ideas out there.
I remember in 6 at the time, I knew that what would either break that lock right above it, or it was going to might break a lock blocking the castle. So I knew either way it would be beneficial to me at least a little bit. That was my thinking at the time, but I knew the lock would break if I had to use the hammer right there. For the lock, at least.
Hey, it's still not as bad as my practice mistake I made on Thursday. Was I whistled from the world away? Oh.
I did that in a steed, and let's just say my language. Let's just say I wasn't happy and my language wasn't safe for speed gaming. But what I will say is making it harder to whistle away from a world by accident would be a godsend.
There is going to be an update from Mac in the future, I believe, for it.
Yeah, there was an update, but we decided not to use it for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that'll become part of it pretty soon. But yeah, that's an accident waiting to happen.
That first seed with the 6-0. But my thought process that like I thought I had a great plan here. I saw World 1 being needed a hammer. World 2 needed a hammer. Had no hammer. Went to 6. 6 gave me a hammer. Whistled out of 6 after I whistled out 1 and 2 to go back to 1 to beat 1 because 1 would be shorter than 6. I was like it gives you some route diversity, but it apparently wasn't fast enough route diversity to give up on a world you did a level and a half on.
Yeah, and you ran into a fairly nasty world as well, which happens sometimes. There were a bunch of seeds where I went into 5 and I got more than I bargained for.
Yeah. But 5 giveth and 5 taketh away.
Yeah, it really does. And in the second seed, that 5 gave didn't just give a jet; it gave a rocket.
Yes, that was a quick 5.
That very nice free planted right in front of the airship.
Yeah, I had a great plan here. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a castle up there that I'm gonna break and go back down across the bridge, and it'll be faster. But then it was like, oh, it's just ending. I wanted to do a fun play like that. That'd be cool.
So I think we have some great finals on our hands tomorrow. The Fireflower and Kingslayer finals starting at 6 o'clock Eastern. Not sure which of the speed gaming channels it's on, but
I can
we'll look it
check
up.
to see. Let
If
me
they figure that out.
Let me quickly check for that. Actually, does not look like we have got a channel just yet. So stay tuned.
So first up will be the Firefighter Division at 6 Eastern. That'll be Leslie Pro, who you've just seen play, Pweco, who you've just heard alongside me,
Yeah.
as well as Shy Guy and John Flinto. Should be a great one. And then we get the King Slayers slated to start at 8:30 Eastern. That'll be Danny P. Speed, who organized this league. Shout out to Danny P. Speed for doing all that. Stewie Cartman, Teeks, and Midi Guy rounding out the Kingslayer final. That should be an amazing one as well. Any last thoughts?
GG's on the race. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for the comms. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow night because the road to get to the Kingslayers runs through the Fireflower Finals. And I swear, if you want a shot at them, you're gonna have to beat me. And a lot of it depends on the randomizer itself. But my goal for tomorrow is quite simple. Not last place. If I don't finish last place, you keep playing. The plan is, you don't finish last, you get to keep playing, and that's what I want to do.
That's right, Survive in Advance. The format is round one, all 4 players. Last place gets knocked out. That was me last night in the Tanuki final. And then the
That was me last
racers
time
play,
around.
the 3 remaining racers play another seed. Last place finisher gets knocked out, and then it's down to 2 players, winner take all.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling that that'll be me. I'll be the last place one, but we will see. The Rando does give it, and it does take it. So.
Oh,
Be sure to both of
absolutely.
you. And I think I have comps for tomorrow night's Fireflower as well, so I may be calling the action.
Very nice.
Oh, that'll
And
be good.
GG's to all of you. That was a great one. Anyone else with last thoughts?
You can go third in the first seed, and you can still win.
That's
true.
right.
All right.
I'll say that.
Survive in Advance. That's right.
And
That's
funny
the
enough,
goal.
the first seed or the first flags are probably going to be the tougher ones, in my opinion, just because of J damage.
Yeah,
Yeah, J damage gets brutal.
You guys are lucky without time attack. Time attack made me cry.
Mm-hmm. I hear ya.
There's a few levels that get a lot harder because of time attack, like 6-5 in particular.
6-5 can get rough. 7-5 can get rough. Oh, you
6-6.
know what? You know what got me to start is I was expecting a faster boom boom, and that didn't happen, so that threw me off.
You're living a week ago, and we had the Kaizo week. Thankfully, we're done with the Kaizos.
It's so easy to get used to the faster boom loom though, because once you're used to it, it's like it's stuck in there.
Yeah, for sure. Then the slower boom boom hits, and it's like you're expecting a fastball, and the pitcher threw a changeup. You're out in front of it.
Need a setting that it's gonna be random every.
Once you played the Kaiser Boom Boom a while, it's crazy how slow regular Boom Boom looks to you.
Oh, same with the throws too.
Yeah, same.
Need a setting with random boom boom, and then have Wendy that can throw 5 rings as well.
Oh, I don't know
God.
if the NES can handle Wendy throwing that many rings.
Yeah,
That would
there's
just
only
be
so many sprites.
masochism.
Yeah, three's
And there's a
enough.
limit on how many sprites. That's why the game starts chugging if you get too many enemies on screen at once.
Yeah, that'd be fun. 5 rings, games chugging, and hit Wendy's.
Yeah. Yeah, we get slideshow mode even when the internet's working. All right, so be sure and give all of our runners a follow on Twitch. MarkyMark679, Dr. Torstel, Feels Great Man, Leslie Pro 04, as well as the commentators Pweco, who also set up the restream for us tonight, and myself, William in Texas. Great having you all here, and thank you all so much in the chat watching this evening. Dozens and dozens of you. And
Yes.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And a huge thank you to Speed Gaming for allowing us to do this and showcase these flag sets off to you for our weekly. And of course, a shout out to Diesel who couldn't be here, so that's why I am the one setting this up. Still not sure what's going on Heel's side because the cropping is proper, but
Yeah,
one of those
I'm guessing it's a glitch in the Matrix, and you know what I say about that? Glitch happens.
yep.
It sure does.
So yeah, thank you everyone, and thank you to all the everyone watching there out in the Twitch space, and yeah,
Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
stay kind, stay happy, and I can
We'll
never remember everything that he says.
And we will
but-
see you on the other side of the next pipe check.